What's poppin' YouTube? It's been a while since I recorded any solo content or uploaded anything to this channel, but we are back and active and trying to stay productive. I guess the reason I take so many breaks or go through so many breaks is because I work from a place of based on how I feel mentally, and if I'm stressed out, I'm drained, or I feel uncomfortable in the sense of just not my own personal satisfaction with where things are, it inhibits my ability to create the way I would like to. And I'm now at a place, or it did inhibit my creative view and my creative way of handling things. But now, as I've grown older, I've come to a place where I understand that even in those moments, I should use that time to progress and grow and develop myself in any skill that I can. And just on a simple note, one of the things I've always been big into is art and drawing. So I've been sketching and just like doodling literally my whole life for the most part. But more so nowadays, I'm starting to try to play with different techniques. Like this little sheet right here, it was basically like an example of different shading techniques, size and proportions, and how to play with depth. And then I went and put that into practice right here. So these are literally on sticky notes, and all these are with pen. So there's not much room for error, but I'm learning how to use imperfections to recreate substance for what it is I'm trying to draw or represent. Another example of perspective. So he's reaching down for a ring. Another shift in perspective. We got an eye looking in a different direction. So it's a lot of things that I've been working on in the background to develop myself and find more self-driven personal peace than what I had previously. And what I can say is that I've come to appreciate, my solitude from time to time. I've come to appreciate the experiences I went through that led me to understand that, hey, you're still capable of doing those things that you want to do, regardless of what time frame you're living in. And at this point, because you understand what it takes, you're now able to do it better and do it and go further than what you could as a kid. So the whole purpose of this video is to let anyone know or speak to anyone that has a dream or have a goal that they feel like is either getting further or further away from them, or they feel like they maybe won't be able to achieve it in their lifetime, wherever the case may be. Don't stop doing what you love. Don't stop pushing towards the things that you feel will make you happy. Don't give up on that. As somebody who has given up on things before in terms of just things they were passionate about, putting it on the back burner and neglecting it when I should have been using that as my fuel and putting that on the forefront of everything, I regret it in so many ways. But I understand what it was that was taking me away from being able to do that, but also I understand what I needed to grow from within myself in order to be able to maximize on that. And I'm at a place where I see the bigger picture, far bigger than I ever have, in terms of how to approach certain things, how to go about lining certain things up, how to execute. And it's important whenever you go into anything, or whenever you're trying to build anything, point blank period, you need a solid foundational structure. Without a foundation, it will all crumble. And so I say that to say, in terms of a lot of things that I wanted to be good at, be great at, or push and pursue, I lacked foundation in a lot of things, and I had to go back and build up those foundations in order for those pathways to have a foot to stand on. So like, for instance, I started drawing as a kid. I didn't fully understand shading techniques and different things like that, but I was fascinated by the different art styles that I grew up seeing from watching anime, seeing actual drawings, graffiti, and I was always influenced by that. So I tried to do my own thing based on what I saw as a representation of art. And yes, I had a good foundation in the sense of my brain wanted to be able to look at something, break it down into shapes, and then be able to reconstruct it into what I'm trying to draw or make. And as a kid, I can say that I probably didn't do that fully. I would just look at something and draw it like that. Nowadays, everything I'm drawing is based on just me thinking on it and putting it on a paper. And that's a different level of what I feel is foundational structure, because I now understand how different techniques can add different effects and lighting and this, that, and the third, and how that can enhance my art in so many ways. And one of the things, again, I've been big on recently is just playing with shifts in perspective, because that's how you avert attention or grab attention. And when you show someone art, you want them to be attentive to what's going on and maybe the foreground or the background. So like for this one, I basically created like a rocky plateau for the whole move name right there, and the fist is punching it, and you can kind of see the vibrations reverberating from it, and there's pieces falling off from the punch. And one of my goals was to basically show that, but I realized one thing I didn't capitalize on is showing a sense of emotion towards the actual sign itself. I kind of just threw the fist in there as if it was already making impact. Now, what I could have did was use some leading lines to exaggerate like the straight punch to show that it's emotion. But one of the proudest ones, like one of my proudest pieces of like just doodles recently in sketches is this one, just because you see a lot of depth, you see a lot of detail, you see stuff in the foreground and background, and it was with me playing with these different techniques in terms of lighting, in terms of shading, in terms of creating depth by putting things on linear scales and then shifting the perspective on them. I've come a long way from where I was, I would say, even 2 weeks ago. Here's another like example of the different shading techniques. Here's an octopus, a squid I drew like not too long ago. I think it was on the 7th. And in the picture you can see the detail of foreground and background. It's nicely separated. And then the last one I'm gonna show off is this guy. Now this is a robot basically just giving you a front-facing POV of him coming towards you in kind of a tunnel vision type of way, so that way you see what's in the background, but your main focus is what's in the center, and then everything on the side is kind of like peripheral vision type of view. But overall, I showed all those to show don't give up on the things that you believe make you happy. Don't give up on the things that you want to do. Go out and try it again. Go about it from a different approach. Understand that you can learn new skills. You can teach yourself new things. You don't have to, you know, be stuck with what you feel like you only learned in school or you only accomplished in school or whatever the case may be. There's so many young adults that become adults and then they start feeling like, well, this is just it. Now I just gotta work and blah, 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 blah. And that's not the case. You still have a long life to live and so much that you can learn, so much that you can do. But if you never try or go out and challenge yourself, you'll never achieve. Like, and that's part of the problem with a lot of young people nowadays. They're comfortable. Like, so again, I've been drawing for a while. Like I've been trying to make progress. Like, and I've been making progress, and that's all about building those foundations. So in order to draw a dope picture or a good picture, one of the key aspects of like what I feel you need to know is shading and proper like angular techniques. And if you don't do that, it's going to be really hard to kind of really display what you want to. So I wanted to reteach myself the basics in just art and drawing, and so I went and found that, and I went and educated myself, and I experimented through trial and error, and I've been drawing different things like Like, look at this. So this is just some different shapes that I drew, and then I was giving them depth by giving life to them in different ways. And then turn around over here. Look at that. Perspective. Another perspective shifting type of drawing. Granted, I kind of messed up by putting the whole body on the side. I should have just left the arm kind of extending, and then like did some shading to it kind of exaggerate like the reaching motion. But the overall thing that I wanted to draw yesterday was that hand, and I wanted to get it into a perspective of someone reaching out and grabbing something, and I feel like I accomplished that. So with that said, if there's something you love, there's something you want to be good at, go back to it, go tap back into it, find out what foundations within it you need to build upon to get you to the level that you want to be. And again, I'm speaking from someone who's almost revamping their whole creative mindset and approach on things, like to the point where I'm starting fresh with how I edit photos and videos. I'm taking a new approach at everything I've done in the past, just in a better way, due to me having more knowledge on how to do these things. And you know, we'll see where things end up in 6 months. I feel very strongly and positive about the changes that I've made for myself and within myself to then be able to facilitate what I need in terms of growth in all forms and facets. Because again, without a foundation for anything, you have no support and you have no structure, and it's just gonna fall apart. And what I've learned is, in all things, you must develop the foundation for what you want it to stand upon. And if you don't do that, you skip steps, then things fall flat on your face. So with that said, I know it's been a while. I hope this video may have helped someone, if everyone. You know, we all go through ups and down phases where we feel kind of stuck or in a rut, but overall, use those times to rebuild yourself and champion what you've learned or what you were able to accomplish during those time frames. Because if you don't try, you'll never achieve. If you don't try, you'll never achieve. So you have to attempt at least. And I mean, I can't say how long I have on this planet in comparison to the next person, but what I can say is all our time is limited. Do you really want to waste your time watching someone else do the things that you'd rather be trying to do or work towards? Or would you rather put forth the effort knowing that you tried, and if you fall, you know you gave it your all? Like, just point blank period. I know me, just based on how I am and how I feel, I can't stop until I get to a place where I'm able to facilitate change for more than just myself. It would be pointless. It would be really pointless for me to camera fell. It would be really pointless for me to go through all this experience in life and all these different experiences in life and not use it as something to teach or help another person grow in regards to what I come to understand. So just my overall goal and purpose within making these videos, doing anything that I do and love, is to inform and help expand the understanding of just this struggle we call life. Anyone that may need it, you know. I ain't got it all figured out, but I definitely feel like I got a better grip on it than a lot of people in life, especially my age at 28. I know I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but a lot of people are lost in the world, and it sucks because the only reason people are lost, they don't understand how to validate their dreams or validate their self-worth. So they get lost in watching other people's lives and comparing, and then when you compare, you start breaking yourself down versus being fueled to go out and get it for yourself, to make it happen for yourself. That's where we should be. We should see the next person and be like, well, that looks fun. I want to do that. I'm gonna go try to do that. I'm gonna go put forth the effort so I can try to get there too. Consistency is the most critical aspect in all of this. You can't start something and stop, start something and stop, start something and stop, start something and stop. And I'm speaking to myself loudly when I say this because I'm a huge like hiatus taking type of person, and that was, I mean, due to me not fully having the foundation that I needed originally in terms of just how to handle my emotions or handle my problems without letting it neglect my creative passion or my creative endeavors. I had to learn how to compartmentalize those things, and I probably said that wrong, but I had to learn how to section things off mentally so that I can handle it when I can handle it, and I can still think freely and thoroughly when I'm doing other things. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, comment, tell me what you think. Let me know if you want more advice videos like this moving forward. I'm gonna use my SK Visuals channel for more than just music videos. These are also gonna be where I do like my little talk pieces and discussions. I have a very large family. I don't do this for, well, I do this for myself, but I do this because I can't always be there to speak to them the way I want to, or give them advice the way I want to. And if I can make a video and they stumble across it and it helps them or it helps the next person, then, you know, that's all I really care about. So with that said, peace, love, positivity. Everybody get out, go out, do your thing. Try something new this week. Don't stay stagnant. Don't waste time. The longer you sit down staring at your phone at the next person living their life, the further away you're getting from being able to do that exact same thing. Get up and go do something, you know? Get up and go create. Get up, go communicate with people. Get up, go to a new restaurant and sit down and talk to people you've never talked to. Just go do something out of your norm. So it's perfect how my other video ended, with me basically saying go out and do something beyond your norm. And again, I'm putting all these things that I'm speaking about in this video into practice every day of the week. And even in this very moment, I told myself last night, I'm like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. You're not smoking anymore. You're gonna focus on creating. You got something you're waiting on, and you're gonna, you know, you're gonna wait until that's ready, and then you will celebrate by smoking at that point. But until then, we're not smoking anymore. I'm lying because I'm gonna finish this blunt today. But we're not smoking anymore beyond this point. And with that said,